Good afternoon, friends. I'm Steve Ben-Nun. You're watching Israeli News Live. Uh, Turkey, Iran, and Russia are claiming that Israel's strikes in Syria are destabilizing the region even more. And there's a lot of other things going on in and around Syria. For example, the Times of Israel is reporting that Russia and the West is in a showdown over aid to Syrian rebels. And we even have on Russian news here, translated into English, RIA.RU, Russia vetoed German resolution on the delivery of humanitarian aid to Syria. And of course, when they talk about humanitarian aid, they're talking about to the rebel held area of Idlib, where they can get this aid in there. It's not just food and humanitarian aid. Of course, it'll be more weapons, ammunition, things like that, so that they can re-begin the retake of Syria. And this is what this really comes down to. And there is becoming more and more a major interest, especially with Russia, Iran, and Turkey, for gaining control of Syria, not just Israel, because of the information that was shared with me from the White House. That is, that this region, Syria, would actually be spared the brunt of what they call an incoming asteroid belt that will do a devastation here on the earth. My own source had told me that around September, the people would be able, they would know. You would be able to look up, you would be able to see what is actually coming. Then I had a secondary source also who has direct links to generals in the Pentagon that confirmed to me that this comet planet system that is coming. It is something they've been tracking for years. They've known about it. They've tried to hide it from the public. They've blocked the satellite views, things like that. But he said to me August or September, everyone would be able to see it. It would actually become more visible by the naked eye. This is why I see that this push for Syria is really growing. Israel's military attacks in Syria violate the country's sovereignty and spark tensions in the region. President Vladimir Putin of Russia, Hassan Rouhani of Iran, and Recep Tayyip Erdogan of Turkey said in a joint statement following the online Astana summit yesterday. They're all fighting for this region of the world, just like Central Africa, another place that is a stronghold that they want to get control of. When I watched this, speaking about Central Africa too, by the way, we did pull the video I did yesterday, had about 84,000 views from where I had said this was the president of Ghana. We did want to make a correction on that. According to the information we were able to obtain, that was not actually the president of Ghana speaking. We did compare his voice in an interview because what we were showing was a picture from the website Sergeant something or other, his account. It was not the president of Ghana, so we do want to correct that. However, the information he was reading from is accurate. Yana will be doing an interview with Deborah Tavares later on that. That information is extremely accurate, just it was not the president of Ghana, perhaps a minister in Ghana that actually released that information and someone got their wires crossed, don't know. We're going to be really being more careful about fact checking that type of information because of the seriousness of, there's those out there that want to cause truth news like ourselves to make mistakes like that so that they can point the finger and say, see, we caught you. So thank you for bringing that to our attention to look into that. We did, and that is true, but the information is accurate. So we'll be getting back into that. But going back, like I said, to the sources that I've had that have talked about this incoming system that would devastate the earth, this is also a reason why I see that there is a major, major push for a lockdown here in the United States. They're wanting to lock down. They're saying that the virus is spreading. I was seeing that, in fact, we jump over here to Twitter. Before I actually do that, maybe I should open a different Twitter here on that. They were saying in Texas the hospitals are at capacity, over the coronavirus, that it's spreading again. And even according to that document, you got to keep in mind though, with the accuracy of that Rockefeller document, that only goes to show that this next round is probably going to be really deadly. It probably, because it's not going to be a regular virus. It's going to be something that man has made that's put out there. But they're trying to keep people from moving. And this is what we see going on. But I was looking at, let's see if I can find this, hospitals are, they're claiming that the hospitals are at capacity over there. I'm sure a lot of this is being hyped up right now because they haven't really had a chance to get anything going yet good. Yeah, look here. So that's an old video there from New York. I'm just seeing if I could find the thing on Texas there. I can't seem to see it anywhere as of right now, but they are talking about everywhere that the spread is on the rise again. Well, I don't believe it's on the rise again, but we do know that they're planning on making something that is going to have a much higher mortality rate. Why are they doing that? They want to keep people locked down, keep you in place so you can't go anywhere because of what you're about to be able to see. Now, I'm going to share with you 2 videos that I have just recently seen on Twitter, YouTube as well. And I don't know the authenticity of this information. I need to make sure I make that clear. I can't say, I don't know. I am not a professional videography that could tell you that this is a solar flare or whatever the case may be. But I have noticed since July the 7th, there have been several posts made where people are claiming they're now seeing, as they call it, Nibiru Planet X. There is debate on that being the case. However, it is believed by several people that are more in the know of this. This is what the Chilean astronomer spoke about when he spoke about the planet comet Hercules. The Chilean astronomer who's since passed away, that's what's actually coming. So I'm going to blow this up for you a little bit. This one here is a video that someone was taking here, and it's kind of like a little, not really a time lapse, it's just, as you'll notice at the bottom of your screen, it's kind of like cloudy, but you can see the sun right up here, the white bright thing there. But he just keeps it there, and you can see this orange thing begin to appear coming up from the bottom. Now you can see the solar flares in his lens right there near the top, because as the camera moves, those move. But these don't seem to move. And the sun stays up there, and is this, I guess, the changing of wherever that's at. It looks like it's in a cloudy area or something like that. That other object arises too. Now, maybe that's still a solar flare. I don't know. Like, that's what this is here. We know that's a solar flare. That's like a lens reflection, you might call it. But this right here, I'm not sure about. Again, I'm no professional on this, but I'm looking to see if anybody else picks these things up. Same thing with this one here. I don't really know what to think about this. This is a time-lapse thing that was done on the channel Our Skies Today. I'll blow this one up as well. I'm just going to kind of, it's rather playing it because it's very lengthy. It's about 7 minutes. I'll just clip on through here. I think it's played in reverse order. It's supposed to be a sunset from what I understand. So I think it's being played backwards as they're showing this. But it is kind of interesting as you go through the different clips right here. Which, let me let it catch up there. I found it kind of interesting. So you see the sun right here. And like I said, I think this was put in reverse because it's supposedly a sunset, almost like a sunrise. But then you can see here, though, right here, it's kind of like a planet or star or something like that. But at first I thought maybe this is what they're talking about when you see that up there in the sky there as the sun is moving in different positions here. But it says those two objects get closer together, you begin to get this other object in there. And again, I don't know if these are solar flares or whatever. I'm just, I'm jumping ahead of like about 30 seconds at a time on his video frame here so that you can see this. He did split screen because he wanted to show a contrast of colors. That's actually written in the statement on this thing. But then as it gets closer to the sun, you begin to start seeing this thing right here form, this circular thing there. All right, and the closer the sun gets to this white dot right here, the more defined this other thing becomes. Now, is this this mysterious thing coming in? I don't know the answer to that. I really don't. Is it a solar flare thing? Again, I don't know the answer. The only thing I can tell you is I know that this is what's been told from people in intelligence community and stuff that has told me it will be visible. It won't be able to be hidden any longer. And by August, September, people will be able to start to see it. And as the sun gets closer, that's what kind of really makes it kind of weird, because it really does become more defined. But then again, it could be something with the lens. I don't know. But even this little white dot thingy-majig there too, what is that? You know, again, I'm not sure, but then they come closer together. And like I said, you can see the defining in that. You know, you tell me what your thoughts are. I'd be curious to know what you guys are thinking on this stuff. The only thing I can tell you is that I do believe, as far as I see things gearing up in the news, I think you're going to see more and more. You're going to be seeing issues in Syria really heat up. Israel's really been doing a lot of bombing over there, trying to stir things up. And that's because, from what I was told, Syria, Israel, Lebanon, all these areas here pretty much are safe zones. Now, Gil Broussard shared with me when I talked to him on the phone that the coastlines, like of Israel and of Lebanon, places like that, they will get hit by tidal waves. It will wipe out the cities on the coastlines. But further in, it will be spared the brunt of this system coming in. And Gil shared with me that next year, sometime late March, is when this is expected to come through. And he agrees as well that it will be visible before too long, that it is supposed to be visible to the naked eye where people will be able to see this. So I haven't had a chance to check with Gil to see what his thoughts would be on these videos here. I would be curious to know his thoughts on it. But at any rate, I just wanted to share this with you, because as we hear of this thing coming, we do see a lot of things happening on the earth, especially military crackdowns, things like that. And that's because they're getting ready, just like the lockdown of the people. If this is going to become very visible, and now they're starting to see, people are claiming they're seeing this already here in July, I can see why they're trying to get ready to lock all the states down so you cannot leave your state. I'm Stephen Benoon with Israeli News Live. Erev Tov.